Okay guys, I'm doing a special review today on an item I picked up and I received it a few days ago. It's a very special, sought after and rare item amongst Bruce Lee fans and collectors. I would say it's a pretty legendary piece, and that piece is something I've been wanting for a long time, but it's been hard for me to get my hands on, and it happens to be this right here, the original 1963 Chinese Gung Fu, The Philosophical Art of Self-Defense by Bruce Lee wall chart poster. So this was advertised in Bruce Lee's first book from 1963 for sale, and only a limited amount of these were made through Oriental book sales. It was a promotional wall chart poster with many of Bruce Lee's Gung Fu demonstration pictures here. As you can see, Bruce Lee and Taki Kimura in the back parking lot of Ruby Chow's restaurant. And Bruce Lee also has some pictures with him and James DeMille and Jesse Glover, as well as Taki, all four of them. At the top of the poster, of the front of the poster, it reads, Chinese Gung Fu, The Philosophical Art of Self-Defense. This is the original vintage wall chart poster. As you can see, there's a little bit of staining, vintage staining on there. This is not the replica one that was sold on brucelee.com a few years ago for $10. I was going to pick that up just to have it for comparison if I ever get this, which I never thought I would get. And this is actually mint condition. I've seen a couple of these only, and sometimes they're damaged or slightly ripped. This was absolutely mint. Totally vintage. The paper is yellowing. And as you can see, A grasps B both hands, which would be this diagram right here, or photo. B advances right foot and at the same time strikes A's right wrist bone by his own left thumb. Right here. C, after A releases the grip, B then punches his face with a straight right. And it's got the Chinese word for that technique. There you go, right there. Boom. So it's almost like a twist, grab, and then you're able to release and punch. And we go down here. A leads with straight left. As you can see, Taki Kimura punching with his straight left hand at Bruce's chest. You see the little arrows of where it's going, and you see the arrows on Bruce's hand going up and forward with the little dot arrows that Bruce Lee drew on there. So steps in with Chung Sik, medium stance, simultaneously deflects the punch with left slapping hand and strikes opponent with right knuckle fist. So that would be this one right here, right into the solar plexus, which will knock the wind out of you. And then after that, Bruce follows up with a jab to the throat. So it's thrust out his right, and B, without changing his position, blocks it with his left, and at the same time jabs A's throat with upward finger poke from where his right hand was, and that would be this one right here. So we go down here again. A comes in with the straight left punch in Gung Bo bow and arrow stance. So that's that one right there. And then B, turning his waist, B dissolves A's punch in an upward arc. Unlike other schools of blocking with power, Gung Fu block tends to dissolve the oncoming force and return it back to the opponent. Notice White arrow indicate the direction of turning the waist of the waist. Continuing his motion, B follows with finger jab to attacker's eye. It says finger job, but I think they meant jab. Notice the other hand is on guard. Note, after constant practice, the blocking and striking should be one continuous action. So from this block with Bruce's hand, it goes straight in. That's what Bruce meant by simplicity. You're blocking and you're attacking at the same time, as opposed to blocking an opponent's punch and waiting and then striking after. It's like everything's done at one time. So down here, A, Taki Kimura, pushes B, Bruce Lee. So that's this one. B turning his waist and advancing, deflects and strikes A with knuckle fist as shown in the picture. There we go, right there. So it goes from that to that. It's like a block and a strike at the same time. Turning his right hand in an arc to lead the oncoming movement of the opponent, B skips in and strikes him with a knee. So that's a knee to like the stomach. A bear hug from the rear. B relaxes and sinks down his weight. So he's relaxing right there and sinking his weight down. You see his hands going down? Turning his waist, B strikes A with his elbow at the same time, steps on his toes. See, he's stepping on Taki Kimura's foot right there, and he's elbowing him in the back. You see the arrow back there? It's going back to his stomach area, ribs. And you see the hit right there. So this one, A comes in with right hook. That would be that one. B sidesteps and turning his waist, blocks and jabs opponent's eyes simultaneously. It's right there. It's the block and the jab at the same time. Again, comes in with upper left cut to midsection. Left uppercut to midsection. B sidesteps and at the same time slashes down his right and again jabs A with left finger thrust. There you go, right there. Stopping Taki's arm and coming in with the finger jab. Okay, so this is the back side of the wall chart. This original wall chart measures approximately 22.5 inches by 17.5 inches, and it comes with factory folds. Okay, so I've seen some people just keep these folded up and not displayed, and then I've seen other people try and laminate them and roll them up. I kind of didn't want to go for that method of storing it, because if it's folded, you spent all this money and you can't display it the right way. And if you laminate it, you're rolling it, and if you got folds in there, it's just, you're rolling over the folds constantly, even though it's laminated. So I decided to go with a floating frame, double-sided, so I don't have to buy two of these. I really don't want to have to buy two. They're expensive, and I think I only need one. So we're gonna go to the back side of this wall chart poster, and here's the back side right here. So we're gonna start again from the top left. Okay, so A and B in natural position as A applies pressure on B's hand right there. Okay, B assists A by jerking him to the direction of his force. So he's using his force against him. At the same time, skips in with a straight thrust kick. Notice the left hand is in position. It's right there. So he's blocking it or grabbing and kicking at the same time. A blocks B's straight kick with his left. B by following the direction of A's blocking, turns and kicks A's knee with a low side thrust kick. So right there, right to the knees, that can break your shin. So he's blocking and kicking at the same time. So figure 200 in Gung Fu, one never grabs someone as shown. For illustration, let's assume that B grabs A's clothes. So you see right there, he's grabbing him. Bruce is A on this diagram. And then A advances right foot, attempts right upward elbow stroke. It is dangerous to use the elbow in far range. As you can see during A's advance, B can simply punch straight. Elbows be reserved for close range combat. So right here, B continues the action and throws A with cross hawk throw, and simultaneously strikes A's jaw with heel of hand blow. Right there. So we'll go down to the right down here. A comes in with right hand hook. A withdraws his left and shoots out his right. B deflects the oncoming punch with left hand in the form of an arc, and following A's withdrawal of energy, he strikes A with right knuckle fist from the previous hooking position. See Taki coming in. A comes in with right side kick. B comes down in an arc with hand hook. Notice left hand is on guard and counters by kicking A's groin with straight toe kick. So he's blocking Taki's kick and kicking him in the groin at the same time. Okay, so this is the back side of the wall chart. And right here, it reads, the basic theory of yin and yang in the art of Kung Fu. At first, I did not plan to include this section as the book deals only with basic technique. However, on second thought, I believe the reader will be greatly benefited by this Chinese view of life. Most likely, his technique, no matter what system he is in, will also be greatly improved. The basic structure of Kung Fu is based on the theory of yin-yang, a pair of mutually complementary forces that act continuously without, I can't see what this says, cessation in the universe. The Chinese way of life can be applied to anything, but here we are interested in its relationship to the art of Kung Fu. The black part of the circle is called yin. Yin can represent anything in the universe as negativeness, passiveness, gentleness, insubstantiality, femaleness, moon, darkness, night, etc. The other complementary part of the circle is yang, which represents positiveness, activeness, firmness, substantiality, maleness, sun, brightness, day, etc. The common mistake most people make is to identify this yin-yang symbol, Tai Chi, as dualistic. That is yang being the opposite of yin, and vice versa. As long as we separate this oneness into two, we won't achieve realization. Actually, all things have their complementary part. It is only to human mind in his perception that they are being separated into opposites. The sun is not the opposite of the moon, as they complement and are interdependent on each other, and we cannot survive without either of them. In a similar way, a male is but the complement of the female. For without the male, how on earth do we know there is female, or vice versa? The oneness of yin-yang is necessary in life. If a person riding a bicycle wishes to go somewhere, he cannot pump on both pedals at the same time or not pumping on them at all. In order to move forward, he has to pump one pedal and release the other. So the movement of going forward requires this oneness of pumping and releasing. Pumping then is the result of releasing, and vice versa, each being the cause of the other. In yin-yang symbol, there is a white spot and on the black part, and a black spot on the white one. This is to illustrate the balance in life, for nothing can survive long by going to either extreme. Be it negativeness or positiveness, therefore firmness must be concealed in gentleness, and gentleness in firmness, and that is why a Gung Fu man must be pliable as a spring. Notice that the stiffness tree is most easily cracked, while the bamboo tree is most most easily cracked. Okay, while the bamboo will bend with the wind. It's hard to see when I'm reading this because I'm holding the phone and I'm looking at the words on the phone. Let's get closer here. So in Gung Fu or any other system, one must be gentle yet not giving away completely, be firm yet not hard, and even if he is strong, he should guard it with softness and tenderness. For if there is no softness and firmness, he is not strong. In a similar way, if one has firmness concealed in softness, no one can break through his defense. This principle of moderation provides a best means of preserving oneself, for since we accept this existence of the oneness, yin-yang in everything, and do not treat it dualistically, we thus secure a state of tranquility. So one thing I wanted to point out, I'm sorry, the way I was reading it is because the way I'm positioned, the way I'm sitting is a little hard. I'm kind of laying down with the low to the floor with the wall chart. As I went closer, I'm able to, you know, kind of make out the words better. So one thing I wanted to point out, the book was finished printing and James Lee picked them up December 1962. So I heard the book was released April 1963, but I actually question that because if you look at this wall chart that you were able to order from the first printing book from 1963, new price list effective March 1st, 1963. So if this was March 1st, 1963, the book must have came out before April. So my guess is the book came out January or February 1963. So here's the price list for James Lee's Modern Kung Fu Iron Hand Training, $5. And I'll just bring the camera down so you guys can see all the prices down here. And California residents include 4% sales tax, no COD, exchange, or refund. All sales are final. Make cash, check, or money orders payable to Oriental Book Sales, P.O. Box 1183, Oakland 4, California. So James Lee was the one that was helping Bruce produce the book. Although Bruce wrote the book, came up with the name, James Lee helped Bruce with the production of the book, getting them printed. There were said to be 500 books, for the first printing. However, Greg Lawn has stated that there was about 1,000 books in his garage that that were the first editions, and I guess he let someone hold on to them for him, and the person threw them out, and then he lost a lot of money because of that. But yeah, so I mean, because you see this book, I mean, it'll pop up here and there, so you know there's more than, you know, the original 500 made. But however, the wall chart and the essays tend to be super rare, a lot more rare than the book itself. So I was like, even though I still would like to get the book, I was glad I was able to get the wall chart. Would love the essays, especially the first 1963 essay. There's a 1966 essay and a 1967 essay, but they don't have the Chinese Gung Fu book cover on the front of them like the original 1963 essay. And that one's bigger than the actual book, but I'd love to get my hands on the first essay the most. And I thought I would share with you guys this piece of true history right here. And coming across one of these is not easy, especially in mint condition. So I'm very honored to have this in my Bruce Lee collection here, with a lot of my other great collectibles in my collection. And I hope you guys enjoyed this pretty good review. That's it right there, and thank you guys for watching. Until the next episode, goodbye.